Hi, I'm Ted Thomas, and in this episode, we're going to answer the question, is Nevada a tax lien or a tax deed state? So I'll go through all the details of that, but I'll tell you a few things first, a few things about how to make money, and also how to avoid the mistakes. I'll be right back. Is Nevada a tax lien or a tax deed state? Well, I'm here to tell you they do both in Nevada, so why don't I explain that? We'll start out with tax lien certificates, and then we'll kind of graduate over it and talk about tax defaulted property or tax deeds. Okay, now most of the population in Nevada lives in Clark County over in the south end of the state. There are a few people up around Reno and Carson City, but the major population is going to be in that county of Clark County. So that's where most of the activity is going to be. So they sell tax liens or they sell tax deeds. Well, generally speaking, they're going to sell tax deeds in that county. So that was Clark County. Some of the other counties might sell tax lien certificates. So I'll spend a little time here talking about these tax deeds. Now you're saying, who is this guy and why is he telling me and why should I even listen to him? Well, you should listen because I've been doing this as a practitioner for over 30 years. I started out when I had black hair and I was skinny, and guess what? I've kept doing it because I made money with tax lien certificates. Then I grew and I started making money with tax defaulted properties. And now using a computer, I can sit at home just like you can sit at home, and you can do this in every county in the United States by tax liens and deeds. All right, so let's talk about these things and how good they are and how bad they are. Now, the tax lien certificates in Nevada don't pay very high. They pay 12%. And that's a good rate if you compare it with the Bank of America, because it's 12 times more than they're paying currently. However, a better way to do it might be, if you're going to buy tax lien certificates and you're going to do it online, is you might want to investigate Florida that pays 18, or you might look at Illinois that pays 36, or you might want to look at Iowa that pays 24. But if you like Nevada and you want to buy tax lien certificates there, because they're easy to look at and check out, well then Nevada's going to pay you up to 12%. Now the tax deed's a whole different ballgame. What happens when you buy tax deed properties, you're going to end up with a property. Now this presents a whole bunch of challenges. The good thing is, when you buy a tax defaulted property, a tax deed, you end up with the property. The bad thing is, you end up with the property. What are you going to do with it? Well, if you're going to make money, you have to buy it right. So first of all, why on earth did the county end up selling you a tax deed? Well, what happened is, someone didn't pay their taxes. So what the county will do is they will confiscate that property. And when they confiscate and seize the property, they wipe out the mortgage. When that mortgage is wiped out, they now put the property up for sale, and they will sell it somewhere very close to the back taxes and whatever the penalties will be. You can buy that property at an oral bid auction. Now, most of those auctions are live, although plenty of them are online, and in some cases they'll do both. And so they'll have bidding in the room at the same time they're bidding online. The auctioneer will just go back and forth watching the bidding. It slows it down a little bit, but it's a good way to buy property. So you could actually buy a property online from the state of Nevada. If you were living in Florida, New York, North Dakota, wherever you were, you could buy it. You could buy it from outside the country even. All right, now how'd you get all these properties? Well, I didn't make the rules. The rules are different in every state. The nuances of the rule are what you need to know. So I'll give you the basics. You'll always get the nuances by looking at the county website, look at the auction website, and ask a lot of questions of people that work at the county. The nuances are available, but you'll have to get them. So you're buying that property. Now you're going to own the property. Now the challenge is, what are you going to do with it? Well, you got the property. Is it in good shape or bad shape? Well, if you looked at it, you know whether it's in good or bad shape. If you didn't look at it, then you need a class like we teach, or you need someone to go look at it. So if you didn't come to the class, here's an easy way. Just send an Uber driver out there, or a Domino's pizza driver if you want. Someone's got a camera and start taking pictures, and that'll give you a good start. It'll tell you whether it's falling down or the roof caved in or it burned down. So now you own the property. You want to sell it. I'm going to recommend, and what I teach, is buy it low at the auction and then resell it. Now, how do you go about reselling? Well, I would not try to sell it and spend a lot of time with brokers. I would do it with signs. I would do it with newspaper ads. I would do it with Craigslist. I would do it with eBay. I would use every electronic site in the world. Why? Because that's the way people want to buy today. So sell it for whatever dollars you can get. So if you bought a property for 20 cents on the dollar, sell it for 40 cents on the dollar. Just get a check. Now, once you're a sophisticated investor, you've done it 4 or 5 times, you can bring the prices up. But don't try to do that right away. Just buy and sell, go through the whole process. Can we teach you that process? It takes you anywhere from 4 weeks to 4 months to learn how to do that. You're not going to get rich this weekend. It's just not going to happen. But this system always works. Why do I know it always works? Because I've done it for 30 years. And I've done it step by step. And I have thousands of students, not just nationwide, but worldwide. The tax lien counties, This is really for conservative investor. Now, why do I say that? Because a tax lien is a super safe investment. It's so safe, you can't buy them from me. You can't buy them from a broker. You're going to buy your tax lien certificate directly from the county. So that means you give your money to the county, you will get a check back from the county. You'll always get paid. If you don't get paid, you will get the property. Now, I didn't make that rule. The local government has the authorization from the legislature to sell tax certificates. They give this guarantee when you buy that certificate. The guarantee is this, that you get whatever the rate is that's on your certificate, and if you don't get that rate, you'll own the property. Well, for me, I'd love to buy the property for just buying a tax lien certificate. Now, I can show you dozens of students that have ended up getting a property with a tax lien certificate. Now, they might have spent $2,000 or $5,000 for that certificate, and they ended up with a property. I had one group in Phoenix, young couple, they spent $11,000. The people never paid their taxes. The property was worth $180,000. Well, they were smart. They did what we told them. We told them, always look at the property. Always have an exit strategy. So they looked. When they looked, they saw a $180,000 condo, and it had water, and it had fountains. It was beautiful. They bought the tax certificate for $11,000. The property owner never redeemed. The property owner never paid. They ended up with a $180,000 condo. What could you sell that for? They didn't know anything about real estate. As a matter of fact, the majority of my clients that do well don't know anything about real estate. 64% of my clients are women that don't even want to go out of the house. So they learn how to do it online. 64% of my clients over 30 years are women. Why? Because we can teach online. We teach them not to fix it. Let me say it again. I'm not a fixer-upper guy. I buy them, I sell them. I buy them, I sell them. You can do the same thing. Buy it low, sell it low. Follow the process. It took me 20 years to develop it, so it always works. It always works for a reason. All tax liens are online. You can buy them online. You can sell them online. It's a great business to be in. How much money do you have to spend? Start with $50 if you want. Start with $500. Start with $5,000. Up to you, whatever number you want. That's where you can start. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You won't fail if you buy a tax lien certificate, because 97, maybe even 99% of all tax certificates are going to pay you. And that 1% that doesn't, you're going to get a property for 2 or 3%. Where are you going to get a property anywhere in America for 2 or 3%? For that matter, where are you ever going to get a property without a mortgage at a tax deed auction for 20 or 30 cents on the dollar? It's not going to happen unless you learn how to do this. All right, so what am I going to do for you? Well, I'm going to do something for you right now. If you want to learn this, I've made a video that's 1 hour long. You can watch that video. It's kind of a quick start kind of thing. And I'll show you how to do it. You can start in 1 hour and you can learn a lot about tax liens and tax deeds. Will you be rich on Friday? I don't think so. So you better keep subscribing. I'm Ted Thomas.